I never thought I'd be the girl who fell for Satan incarnate, but here we are. If you told me 3 years ago I'd be sitting here with my life in ruins because I dated a corporate spy, I would have laughed and ordered another drink. So let me tell you how I spectacularly ruined everything. I met Frank 6 months after dumping my boring ex at this networking event. Frank was everything my hoodie wearing. Chipotle-loving ex wasn't. He made reservations at restaurants without prices on menus, and weirdly excited about my job doing cancer drug research, which honestly should have been red flag number 1. The first few months were straight out of a rom-com, if rom-coms were secretly horror movies. Fancy dinners, meeting his impressive friends, constant texting that made me feel like the main character for once, but the red flags were having a parade. He'd joke about my loser ex, then pat my hand saying I was too nice. He'd compliment my work with weird twists like, wow, you're so smart for someone who went to state school. 3 months in, his laptop crashed, and he desperately needed to borrow mine for a presentation. I work with proprietary cancer formulas, so my laptop is Fort Knox, but he made me feel so paranoid for hesitating that I handed it over. When I got it back, I saw that files were accessed, emails were opened, and there were searches I didn't make. When I confronted him, I was suddenly paranoid and controlling just like his crazy ex. I actually apologized to him. After that, he knew he had me. Started showing up at my office, becoming besties with everyone. Constantly forgot his wallet. Used my LinkedIn to pitch a fake startup telling people we were engaged. When I confronted him, he screamed that I was threatened by his ambition. The finale came when I flew home early from a conference and found him in my bed with another woman. I kicked them out, changed locks, and blocked him everywhere. But he sent intimate photos I didn't know he'd taken to my boss and board members with stories about my unprofessional behavior. Took months of drug tests to clear that up. For 18 months, I rebuilt. Got therapy, threw myself into work, got promoted to lead researcher on a revolutionary lung cancer treatment. Then Frank slithered back into my life through my mother. He'd been visiting her, claiming he was in recovery for sex addiction and was helping with her medical bills. Mom begged me to forgive him because everyone deserves second chances. Against every instinct, I met him for coffee. He had therapy receipts and accountability speeches, but the red flags were still there. He mentioned how I'd overreacted and suggested we be business partners. I politely told him no and that I needed some space before we met again. Then he started showing up at my yoga studio. I kept maximum distance but maintained contact purely for my mom. Then came the charity gala. He was being honored for addiction recovery work, and Mom threatened to disown me if I didn't support his big moment. So there I was at the fanciest hotel, pretending I didn't want to throw champagne in his face. Frank handed me my second glass, and the room started spinning when I got halfway through. My legs turned to jello. Turns out he'd drugged me. I tried getting to the bathroom, but he was guiding me to the exit saying I needed air. A young server noticed me stumbling, and when Frank claimed to be my boyfriend, I shook my head. She snatched me from his arms and practically carried me to the staff room. She stood guard and brought me water to clear my head. That's when I realized my phone and laptop were gone. 2 days later, security was at my desk. HR and legal pulled me in and destroyed my world. Our lung cancer drug, 3 years of my life, had been leaked to our competitor. Emails from my account sent while I was drugged contained formulas, trial data, everything. Then they showed me footage of Frank entering our competitor's building dozens of times. He'd been on their payroll for years. The laptop he borrowed had spyware transmitting data for months. The company was considering pressing charges for negligence, which was millions in damages. Security escorted me out while everyone stared and our stock plummeted. In the parking lot, my phone buzzed. It was Frank texting, check your bank account. Every account I had, checkings, savings, retirement, all showing zero. You think that's bad? Just wait. Full T in the link.